What is up, my fellow knowledge seekers? Different episode today was inspired by a YouTube rant yesterday. Also struggled to make that thumbnail again. A case of this tough having long arms. I was like, oh, I'll just put it out, and it just looks so dumb every way I did it. Um, Anyways, this is a cool knife that my ex-stepfather had. It's probably from Mexico or something because that's where he used to live. It's not as cool when you unsheath it. It's got some gold, but still pretty cool. Also, because I have to use this as a lightsaber. Clearly not the biggest Star Wars nerd out there. More of a sports guy. But, everyone's watched every normal person. If you're watching, Mikey Henninger, for some reason, has not watched Star Wars movies. But most people have watched the Star Wars movies. And if you're following my channel, you're probably a sports fan. You should probably give Mikey a follow as well. Anyways, moving on. So Star Wars Nuts will tell you the episodes 4, 5, and 6 are legit. 1, 2, and 3 suck. So Topher Grace actually popularized a thing where you chop up 1, 2, and 3, all 7, 8, 9 hours of that into a 2-hour-ish mashup, dubstep, whatever we call those, remixes, house mix. And so I was watching one last night, and I only got like 20 minutes into it because I just kept Googling things. I was like, holy shit, how tall is Liam Neeson? Like, he was like half a foot taller than Ewan McGregor. Like, what is it? And I'm like on celebheights.com, and then there's this feud between Clint Eastwood and Liam Neeson that they made him stand. They wouldn't let Liam appear taller than Clint. Clint's like, I am the alpha male. And they're like, what was his peak height versus his height in 1994? And they're like, Clint Eastwood's peak height was 6'3.5", and Liam Neeson's is just over 6'4". And yes, I nerd out about height. That actually is similar to what happened in Smallville. The actor Tom Welling, who plays Superman, which is fun, very fun for me because a bunch of fun facts there. So he is like such a country bro, and they get him all fit for the show. And the second the show ends, he just drinks a bunch of beer and goes into the woods and grows a beard. He's basically Shaquille O'Neal of acting. He just zero fucks once the season ends. And every time the show is about to start, oh my God, dude, shave, shower, gotta get you back into shape. And he's like Mr. Perfect, like Superman. So he is 6'2.5", and his father in the show is actually 6'3". So they do all this camera angles to never let you notice that the dad is taller. I didn't ever notice this because I just assumed Superman was taller than 6'2.5". And then the janitor from Scrubs, I hope you guys get that reference, who's just over 6'6", came on, and Superman was taller than him. I was like, wait, he's not that tall. I know some people, he's not superhumanly tall. So then I started looking into it, and then a bunch of people are a couple people are taller than him. Also, Oliver Queen on the show, who I'm blanking on, Justin Hartley, who apparently dated Jennifer Aniston. I'm going on a rant right now. I have a lot of knowledge up here. Woo! He's on a show called This Is Us, where he's a triplet, really good for parenting, family show. Really, just really great eye candy. But anyway, so he's taller than Superman. Anyways, fun stuff. So similar to what happened to Liam Neeson. Let's get back to Star Wars. So this is what happened last night. This is why I watched 20 minutes. And I was like, wow, Liam Neeson is so freaking huge. I was like, wow, how good at Star Wars was he? And then I thought about it, and I was like, but wait, Qui-Gon Jinn, that name is barely known. And I'm like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's legit one. So I do some Googling of how good are they, and then I didn't even have to finish Googling. I was like, oh, I remember how this movie ends. Darth Maul fucking epically kills him. He's the dual wielding Savage, takes both of them at once for a while, kills Qui-Gon, and then almost takes out Ewan McGregor, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi, as well. So then I did some more Googling into it, and because when that movie came out, 2000, I think it was 99 or 2001 or something. I'm 8 to 10 years old. So seeing Darth Maul just meow, 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 just mesmerized. And to this day, I think he's the most impressive. I was going to call him sword fighter. That's how out of the game I am. Also, I don't know a good word for it, because if you call it, they call it dueling, but then dueling involves the Force as well. So the best dueler is Darth Vader. Let's be honest. Everyone knows this. So the best with the lightsaber, in my opinion, is hands down Darth Maul. So you can take their characters and their actors, because both matter. You can say that Qui-Gon Jinn's not that good, but it's come on, Liam Neeson. It's a big strapping dude. That matters. He's athletic. He's in action movies. That matters. if you go into the Googles, you know who they actually say is the best with the lightsaber is they say Mace Windu, who's played by Samuel L. Jackson. Again, big, athletic, strapping dude, action star. And so, of course, Hayden Christensen, the guy who plays Anakin, who turns into Darth Vader, just a kind of a regular-looking dude, 6 feet tall, nothing too special about him. And the guy who plays Darth Maul, you probably don't know who plays Darth Maul because you don't actually see his face. Literally a professional stuntman named Ray Park, who 20 years after doing the movie, I'll post a link in the comments, can still do incredible things of like just flying around. So he's absolutely the most talented physically of all the people who do it. And then in the movie, Darth Maul is unbelievably talented as well. And as I said, you have to factor in the Force as well. And Darth Vader's Force is so strong, which is what makes him a better dueler. And Darth Maul, they actually I did some Reddit reading and I went in. And they say his use of the Force, his maturity, he's not very. Actually, there's some people who say Yoda is the best fighter, which is pretty fun. So yeah, Darth Maul's use of the Force is not as strong. So if his use of the Force is not as strong, he's able to kill Qui-Gon Jinn, who does have good use of the Force, and hold his own as Obi-Wan at the same time. And that just shows how freaking good of a lightsaber he is. But to be fair, Obi-Wan was not in his prime yet at this point. But still. And then doing some other Googles, I was really surprised. There were some lists. Actually, one list had Mace Windu #1 and Darth Maul #2. That was my favorite list. And then Luke Skywalker and Anakin. I'm like, yeah, the classics. That makes sense. One had him at 11. One had 20 people ranked, and he wasn't even mentioned. There were people I hadn't even heard of. And then did some more YouTubing. And General Grievous is pretty impressive. I got to hand it to him. Wielding 4 at once, just killing a bunch of Jedi. But got to give a big fat asterisk that he is a robot because he's programmed to be good at that. So I'm sorry, that's not as impressive. I know LeBron James was technically programmed to be good at basketball by being so genetically gifted, but he also worked for it a little bit. He gave away like Cam Newton did. He ignored drugs and alcohol and partying and ate the right foods and did all those things. Whereas General Grievous is a fucking robot. So I'm not going to give him the crown over Darth Maul, even though as cool as Darth Maul's double wielder is, General Grievous is out here just who's that guy from Come On, You Can Do This, Mortal Kombat. I can't do it. I'm not that good. Goku? No, I'm in over my head. Tall guy, but no. Let's reel it back in. So a couple other things I want to say. So, of course, if we're talking about how Darth Vader is the best of all time and Luke kills him, doesn't that make Luke the best of all time? Let me give you another sports analogy for that. Who do people think is the best football player of all time? They don't think it's Aaron Donald, unfortunately. They don't think it's Justin Tucker, who it is. It's probably Justin Tucker for sure. His form is out of this world. They don't think it's Kyle Juszczyk. They say it's Tom Brady. And who beat Tom Brady twice in Super Bowl? Everyone's least favorite Hall of Famer, Eli Manning. Why? Because Eli Manning was not scared of the situation. His brother Peyton's way better than him. He's used to being, overshadowed and not caring and still chugging along. And so Tom is more, emotionally, he has more resistance. Tom needs to win, whereas Eli's expecting to lose. He's like, shucks, if I win, I win. So Tom has to win. So it's the same thing with Anakin and Luke. Anakin is the chosen one, except Yoda. It's actually funny I just watched the beginning and Yoda's like, I don't think he's that good. I see a lot of darkness in this guy. It's clear from the very beginning. Yoda's like, no, he's not it. He's not it. Mace Windu's like, no, Anakin's not that guy. So what it is the sports Buddha, I do a lot of Buddhism as well. And Yoda's the best Buddhist ever. And he's like, fear turns into shame and shame turns into anger. And basically he does all this stuff and he's like, you're not going to be able to control your emotions. You're not going to be a good Jedi like Anakin. You're not it. And basically because Luke, I am your father, Anakin's all in his head. So Luke wins because he's in his head. So yeah, Luke has the genetics a little bit being part Darth Vader, but he mostly just wins. He just happens to win because Darth Vader is not on his A game and probably subconsciously doesn't want to kill his son. So, just like Tom Brady probably self-sabotage. He's like, no, we need to preserve history. We're not as good as the Miami Dolphins were. Let's keep Larry Zonka alive. So anyway, so yeah, had to get that out there. Luke Skywalker, Eli Manning. So he's just he's not in the rankings in my opinion. So I've got Mace Windu up there, absolute savage. You have to throw in Darth Vader, but in my opinion, it's clearly Darth Maul. He's got all the things. Just to eye test, the first time if you see these dudes fight, Darth Maul is so incredibly good. And then if you actually YouTube and like look at clips of their battles, he's literally only known for his lightsaber wielding. So, I shouldn't go on too long because I don't know that much about Star Wars, but I do watch a lot of the NFL Combine, and I'm really good at telling athletes. One of my best pulls ever is there's a jugs machine where they shoot the balls at you and you turn in a circle 8 times. And I watched Jamal Charles do just that drill. And I was like, that dude is unbelievably fluid athlete. It's all I'd seen. Like, guy looks swaggy, he's got the dreads, good hands. And they're like, that was former track star Jamal Charles. And I was like, that's it. That's my guy. And just from that alone, like I could tell. And same thing when I saw Darth Maul, I was like, that is him right there. And it is. He's a professional stuntman. He also plays Toad in X-Men, plays a few other roles as well. So that's him. In my opinion, it's Darth Maul. I've got no problem with Mace Windu, but it's Darth Maul. Thanks for listening. And be sure to check out the link in the bottom that I'll show Ray Park going absolutely ham 20 years later. You can even see he like rubs his hip a little bit. Like he's old. He's getting older. He's like beat up from being a stuntman. He's still got it. So let me know in the comments who you think the best is, if I'm off or how off I am with Darth Maul. And then please like, subscribe, share with a friend. Thanks for your time, everybody.